Hey, what's up? This your boy Jack Thriller. Hey man, I've been fluctuating with my weight and my mental issues and whatnot, as we all have over the years. But now I'm about to get it together every Wednesday with Wellness Wednesdays with the one and only, the legendary, the man, myth, legend, personal trainer to the stars. I mean, he done did 50 Cent, J-Lo, Cardiello. Yeah, every Wednesday, Wellness Wednesdays. Tune in, watch my transformation over the next year. Every Wednesday, Wellness Wednesdays. It's Jack Thriller. Get it together. All right, so Jay, well, I'm always want to call you Cardio, but it's Cardiello.
It's Cardiello.
Cardiello. Is that Italian?
It is Italian.
What family y'all from?
Where we're from in Italy? We're Northern Italy.
Northern Italy?
Yeah.
Is it some mob type?
You know, that's maybe the third book, but no. It's
Okay, I dig. So, body weight strength training, 12 weeks to build muscle and burn fat.
That's true.
What do you mean?
Okay, well,
where do we even start?
You know what? This is a good segue, and I just want to let you know we did throw down the gauntlet. All right, we start working out this week, and one of the best things, you know, Jackie came to me. He's like, "Oh, we've been working out 2 hours a day," and I told you same thing with 50. We're focusing more on our mind, and that's what we got to do. We've got to plant these seeds up here. You're only going to be working out over the whole 12 weeks about 8 hours total about the whole 12 weeks, because first you focus on your mind, then we focus on the stress, then we focus on the food, and the smallest thing, not the most important thing, but the smallest thing is the fitness. People don't realize that. We put fitness up here, and then we don't see the results, and everybody quits because it's such a high barrier of entry. I mean, realistically, there are most days I don't want to work out. I don't work out realistically 15 minutes to 20 minutes at most, but that's really just for my mind. And I'm in there and just doing push-ups and pull-ups, whatever along those lines. And it's the same thing for everybody. You know, fitness is a tough barrier to cross into. So if you work on yourself first, then we focus on sleep in there, and we focus on stress. If you focus on yourself first, you want that. You want to empower yourself through the means of fitness and exercise. Focusing on that, that's why we start January 1st with our New Year's resolutions, and then we quit by, statistically it's proven by the 15th, because number one thing, we haven't resolved. Resolutions are about resolving. We all have these things, these voids in our body, you know? Then you go marry a person, you get a boyfriend, a girlfriend, and all of a sudden you try to fill that void with them, and 2, 3, 4 years down the line, you're like, and then you get divorced. So, before you enter, and this is what I want to do with this book, before you enter any fitness program, make sure you got resolution, make sure you got resolve within yourself. And that's what the first thing to do is we all have everything we need. We just got to want more of it. And that's what this book does. It empowers a person first, and then fitness follows. That's why fitness was not the biggest thing of this book. It was about you, the biggest thing of this book, and realizing that.
Now, how did you even get to this point where you knew that this was the order?
Well, that's 2 great points. Number one, a lot of people don't know about it. So, you know, I was going to school to go to law and everything, and I was a track and field athlete at the University of Arkansas, and I came down wrong. Thankfully, I came down wrong at a jump. So I put my foot too far in front of my body acted as a natural brake, and my tailbone cracked right in half. So half of my spine is fused. So it was like 16 surgeries to put it all together. When you're sitting in a body cast and you have nothing to think about, you say, okay, I can't work out, but I can train up here. So that's all I did, is every day I trained up here, and it wasn't about getting physically stronger and picturing some body up here. It was just saying, okay, I am this, I am a success, I will get back up. This is not my destiny, this is not my future, this is my current situation. So putting that forth and saying, I am up here, whatever follows is your future. So I just focused on myself mentally. And I focused on the meditation. And when I was able to start walking again, it was okay, I'm gonna walk 10 steps today, then 20 steps tomorrow. So it was small and increment, baby steps. And that's what it all is. And I celebrated that every day. I mean, like, I have a son that's 6 years old. And his first few steps, I celebrated. But what we do 2 push-ups. I can't do 10, I quit. Why? Do you tell your child to quit when it takes 1 step and falls down? We don't think like that. I always say we need to regress to progress. Think back to when you were a child, when you were just working to work and have fun. So that's what I did. When I first got out of my cast, I was like, all right, let's just walk. And then let's just 2 steps, 3 steps. And then, you know, by a month, I was able to walk a mile at most. And I celebrated that. So that's what I wanted to give people, because we've all been through shit. And the number one thing we're all searching for is significance. We all want to feel significant. You know, this is not like, oh, I'm gonna lose 30, 40 pounds in that. This is about being up here the best you can be, and that's all I really wanted to go after.
So in this book right here, man, this is going to help me. We want me to get down.
We're in training right now. We are definitely in training, you and I. And
okay.
You know, it's our first few weeks. You're like, when we work it out, I said, until you resolve your issues within, until you grab hold of me and say, I am up here, then the progress starts. First, you do first I told you, do the incantation. Then you got to figure out your why factor. What's your why factor of why you want to enter into a program of training? That's a drawing factor. Goals, to me, goals are too much.
You're making me feel bad right
Goals push you away. Goals push you away. Think about it. If I said, I'll lose 30 pounds, that's not attractive. That's not going to pull me out of bed in the morning. It's going to push you. You got to think of like, I'm doing this because I want to be a hero for my son. You know, every morning I wake up and my son sees me, I'm doing push-ups. And I hate doing push-ups, but my son's saying, you know what, my dad is there, getting stronger. And my son will come over and try to do one or two. So he's conditioning himself. Not to be like, I don't want him to be like me. I want him to find his own vehicle up here. But he knows, okay, that's the way to gain strength. And then he'll see me eating a salad and this, because they're sponges. So that's what I really wanted to do, is I wanted people to regress to progress. And I just put a really simplistic workout program in there. It's body weight. You do it within a 4x4 space, so there is no barrier of entry.
You know what I want?
What do you want?
I want to be like a really sexy ass R&B singer. I want my body to be like, you know, like 50s, but I want to sing and I want girls to grab at me while I'm on stage and stuff. That's what drives me. When I'm on a treadmill and I'm working out, I'm watching videos on my phone of Genuine and Tank and Jodeci and all these girls going crazy because they want their bodies. I want that to happen for me. That's what I want.
Listen, that's a beautiful purpose.
Adding
on to that.
Am I wrong?
No one's ever wrong. No one's ever wrong.
That's what I really want.
If you put someone down, you're wrong.
Okay.
Okay? Then if you build yourself up to, you know, in my opinion, you're already there. You just got to realize it. It's like we have a big, you know, we're going to jump in today. We're going to get to the fitness thing. We're going to jump into the food, and we're going to teach people how to shop and navigate through the aisles. But one of the things is that we already are somebody. You know, why I was telling you before, we always have these powwows, these 15-minute powwows. People need to tape this and see what we're talking about. But we all are searching for significance. And whether people go to Canal Street just to put on the Gucci bag. And no one ever says, hey, pass me my brown purse, pass me my Louis. Pass me this. Because we feel significant. We are somebody. But I always tell people, you already are somebody. You just got to realize it.
Right.
We spend so much time. Even problems become our purpose. We have an alcohol problem, we have a sex problem, we have this problem, we have this problem. That gives us I'm depressed. You'll have friends. Whatever follows I am is your future. I always say, if I'm going through a hard time, I'm open about it, and I went through a mass divorce, and there's some things you read about in the book. You know, I was sexually abused when I was a child. Yeah. So in this book, the thing that I would say is this: that's my current state. It's like currently I am this, but that's how I am at this point. That's not my history that I'm writing, nor is it the future that I'm setting forth for myself. If you say, I am poor, how are you ever going to put happiness up here? Anger, pain, and happiness can't reside equally within the confines of your mind.
Anger, pain, and happiness.
They can't. If you're angry, how can you be happy at the same time? If you're thinking negative, how are you going to focus on the positive? This is the compass. See, people don't realize this is the compass to your entire life. And what you say, and we're going to get into the second segment of this. We got to start talking about the segment. But the second segment is our tongue. You know, we have a great guy in this office, Jeremy. He wrote a very, very powerful, very poignant book about the powerful words, the power of words. Whatever rolls off this dictates everything around you. What you say is what you become, but also who you attract. We need to check ourselves and see who's around us. Are they supporting, or are they pulling? Are they weeds, or are they building? And that's what this book does, and I'm not saying it to sell it. I'm fine. But what I'm trying to give people the opportunity is to realize that the significance is within. You don't need something. You don't need a him. You don't need a her. You don't need a bag. You don't need a car. That's all well and good. You need more of what you already have. You got to want more of what you have. So let's jump into this segment. So we were talking, now we're going to hit the health and fitness, and I know you're still thinking upon this right now. We're going to jump in that in a few minutes.
Okay.
So I want to talk to a really poignant statement is this. Clothes shopping 101. All of your clothes shopping. All of your clothes shopping happens at the grocery store. You don't go to Macy's, you don't go to Bergdorf, you don't go to Target, wherever you go to the grocery store to go clothes shopping. You got to think about what you put in is either building or expanding your body.
That's what you meant. I thought you were tripping at first.
No.
Because I was clothes shopping at the grocery store.
You think about it.
I just got it. I got it.
That's okay.
I
That's
just
okay.
got it. That makes so much sense.
That's okay.
Wow. Okay.
Now think about this. Some of you guys go to Whole Foods, maybe wherever you go shopping. Just let's use Whole Foods for example. You walk in, you see the beautiful flowers. They're not meant to say, "Oh man, I'm gonna buy my girl that." They're meant to heighten and arouse your senses to make you feel good. That's the first thing, because all of a sudden, all the grocery stores are set up. Remember the old grocery stores? You just walk up the aisle, everything's cut and crossed in order because they realize what people are starting to think. Shop around the aisle, shop on the perimeter, and you got to buy the good stuff, the fresh stuff. Right? So they cut us off and they put us in. They have to. The longer you're kept in there, the more you'll buy. Right? So here it is. Makes you feel good to see the flowers, and then you get hit with what? You smell the bakery, or maybe you see the fruit. And fruit, be careful. If it's out of season and the oranges are really orange, they sometimes dye them.
Dye them?
Dye them. They actually do dye them. See, I was fortunate, I co-founded this program. It's up at Mount Sinai Hospital Systems, and we went through so much research out there upon the labels, lies, and lingos of what actually goes into our food. And I gotta tell you something, it's freaking scary. It is freaking scary. So when we talk about fruits, I'm gonna give you a quick rundown. These are little bit tidbits. Number one, buy in season. That's your best bet. Number two, people say, do I buy organic? Do I buy non-organic? There's the Clean 15, and you can just look it up online. It'll show you. Clean 15, that means you don't really have to buy organic, but still wash it. And then there's a Dirty Dozen. That one, or those you have to buy organic. And organic is not a diet, just like gluten is not a diet. Organic has to do with the soil, and let me end this, all the restaurants out there, you can't have organic seafood. You can't monitor the ocean floor. That's a big thing. So the first thing, before you go shopping, you gotta have a list, you gotta have a plan and stick to it. Just stay in there. That's why I shop online. Bang, 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 because it's just bang, I know what I need, I'm done. And this is sound crazy. When I did a TV show years ago, and I had my contestant have a stopwatch, and he's like, "Oh, you're crazy. If you're spending more than 20 minutes in the grocery store and you're not maybe online, you're crazy. You don't need to be there that long." So first off, with the fruits, you know about the Dirty Dozen and the Clean 15. Next, vegetables. And go quick thing about fruits. Fruits don't make you fat. People say, "I don't eat fruits because of the sugar." It's natural sugar. God put it in there, okay? There's fiber, and fiber is gonna block it or slow it within the bloodstream into your liver, so you're fine. The thing you gotta be careful is when you go to those juice places and extracts the fiber, and then you get hit with the sugar. There's a difference there. So if you're gonna do the juicing, it's the whole fruits and vegetables. Vegetables are good too. I've never had a client come in and say, "Man, I'm eating too many fruits and vegetables, I'm getting fat." No. Maybe eating fruit roll-ups, but you ain't eating real fruit. Okay. Vegetables, they're good too. Unless you work with a registered dietitian and your doctor knows your blood, then you can pick and choose the fruits and vegetables. Okay, let's quickly go through. Let's go to the fish. Now, fish is a big thing. Here's the number one thing. Shrimp, we've all heard this. Lobster, I don't need it because it makes your cholesterol. It affects the body different, affects your blood differently than if you're taking in fats, okay? So fish are good. Couple things, wild. If you're gonna go wild, go to Alaska. Alaskan, wild from there as opposed to on the eastern seaboard. The reason being is that we're putting everything in the farms. And we thought about, farm fishing. We think of farms and the kids are running around the cows. That's BS, that ain't happening, all right? So we have to be careful. If you're gonna go wild, go Alaskan as opposed to over on the East Coast. Also too, with anything produce, fish, local is really not something that the FDA says we have to have it. If it's local in New York City, that means it's made here. No, it could be up to 400 miles from the origin. So they can sell 400 miles, still call it local. Same thing with natural. The FDA does not define that. I mean, there's natural Fritos. It's like baked Fritos. Baked just means it's lower in either sodium or fat. So be careful of that as well. But the fish, number one thing, if you're buying it off a market, number one thing, if you see any cloudiness that are in the eyes are the windows of your soul, the eyes are the windows of the fish's soul too. Any cloudiness gray, it is not fresh. And also too, at any sort of Whole Foods or anywhere I go, we always talk to the butcher. And we have a butcher we always use, and he's like on our Christmas card list because he's giving me information, A, where it was raised, how it was taken care of. They have the facts there, ask. So,
Really?
yeah. See, here's the biggest thing. Your food is your medicine. Your medicine cabinet does not reside in your bathroom, it resides in your kitchen. So why aren't we making that investment within ourselves? I don't understand that. The only problems you have in your life you created, and the only person to blame is yourself. All right, so that's one of the biggest things. And also too, eat different kinds of fish. Don't stick to one. Tuna, we all know, high mercury levels. So if you have tuna maybe once every 2 weeks, eat a different kind of fish. And don't eat all the big fishes too, because they gobble up all the little ones. So go with a little fish, big fish, big fish. I stick to fish all. I don't eat red meat. Sometimes I love a cheeseburger if maybe I go to Shake Shack or anything like that. But
You gotta do it.
You gotta do it.
You
Or I go
gotta do
In-N-Out
it.
Burger, I gotta do that.
You gotta do it.
But that's a treat to me, okay? Also too, going after the meat.
Does it make you sick when you did it, like, since you don't do it?
Well, when I go to
often?
In-N-Out, no, I'm happy. I'm in heaven.
So that's a myth too. Like when you're off beef for a long time.
Well, here, everybody's body's different. I can only speak for myself.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay,
What's your blood
next.
type?
I noticed it's a heart with a big smile on the face. That's my blood type. Okay, so one of the biggest things that, and I say that because here's the thing: they have programs for your blood types. They have programs for this. They have programs for this. Your blood. You bring up a very good point. Don't take any nutritional advice unless the person knows your blood. Your thyroid could be off, your testosterone level could be off. Everything can be off too. You go to these supplement stores, you're taking stuff that your body is going to just kick out very quickly. If your body's not using it or utilizes it or need it, why are you putting it in there? And more protein, more muscle, I get it, but we're not going around on stage at Olympia like this. We're sitting like this. This is our actual place of our stage. So we always have to think about what are the protocols, what is the career I'm in, how am I living my life? Athletes have different protocols. Laymen have different, bodybuilders have different. Okay, so that's those are quick things with fish. Next, along those lines, let's go into the meat. This is the big thing. Grass-fed does not mean it is 100% they're grazing, running around, because we run out of grass. Think about that. Mm-hmm. So there's grain finished, there's grain-fed. Cows should not eat anything grain. That's when the antibiotics and the hormones are implemented and you get sick cows. Mm-hmm. So we really have to be careful. Make sure it has the U.S.D.A. 100% organic, U.S.D.A. 100% grass-fed. If not, if you have a farmer's market, you can actually go talk to the people and say, hey, how is this? Let me see your certifications. They're like, why would you want to do that? Here's the funny thing. You go buy a brand new Honda Accord, Toyota, you're sitting there, yeah, you got this. You drive the car, you park it, and it ain't hanging out with you for the rest of the day, your body is. But then you go to the doctor's office because you got pneumonia, you go to the doctor's office, you got your flu. More people who are sick are putting in crap into their bodies. So we have to think about that. Also too, know all about, in terms of, about the beef. 100% grass-fed, yeah, it's grazing on grass, but the fact is we really got to be careful on what's around it. It could get sick from another cow. I mean, they mix them together, they put them together. Same thing with chickens. I love when it says free range. Free range to what? They can put a cage, open it up, it can range around there. So we really got to be careful of that. It could be organic and it can be 60%, 70%, 80%. We don't know. You got to really look. And if it's $2 and it's organic, come on. Maybe the packaging's organic, but the chicken ain't.
You know what kind of like ticked me off one day? I was eating some chicken, and I wasn't high or anything, but it hit me that I got like 5 chicken legs on my plate, and they might not be from the same chicken.
Well, unless you have a pretty weird chicken, I don't think it's gonna have 5 legs.
Right, and it really grossed me out for a second, and then I had to think about it a whole nother way. What if I was eating the same chicken? That's still kind of disgusting when I really think about that. This was something that was walking and living, and yeah, I didn't want it to be hurt. And I grew up on a farm, but now I'm just so much more conscious, and I'm thinking about everybody's feelings, even my food.
Oh, 100%,
and it's making me weird.
It really is. Think about it. You know, you see how these shows up on the Facebook and Instagram. You see how they're killed. Their cortisol's bad stress. It's released into the meat, and you're getting it. They're not sitting there and praying over it and saying, "Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Lamb." Bang. You know, they're watching their buddy die and he's saying, oh no, I'm next.
That's gonna be me.
That's gonna be me, and they just slaughter them. Same thing with chickens. Let's just go on with the chickens here.
Yeah.
Okay, a couple quick things. Number one, free range, we don't know. Okay, organic, hopefully we get the stamp of approval and it's 100% through. Okay, that's a big thing. And the majority of things, when you go to the restaurant, here's a big thing. If they say special and there's 20 million things mixed with it, you know it's on the way out the door. And what I mean by that is that if they take this, for instance, see with sea bass lot, and they mix everything in it, fish probably has a couple, maybe like a day or so more being fresh, and they got to mix it all together. Food at the restaurant, you want to have everything as clean as possible because they dice it up with the sugar, salt, and everything to make it taste good and have all these names following just salmon. Come on. So we really have to think about that. Getting back to the chickens, couple things. Number one, they're killed so sadly. Some are suffocated with foam. Some are suffocated. They're in chicken pens, and that's, oh, it doesn't exist. Yes, it does. It really, really does. So we have to be careful. Is it free range, range without antibiotics, all this stuff? And I'm not going to mention names, but if it's not that costly, they're probably not caring what's going into your body. So you have to remember your food is your medicine. Now speaking, I'm going quickly through this. Dairy, I don't take it. Unless you put mint chocolate chip ice cream for me, I'm going to destroy it. But as maybe a treat for my son and I, we don't have dairy in our house. Number one, dairy is really not meant for the human body. I don't care what people say, it's not meant for the human body. Almond milk
doesn't
is
do
different.
a body good.
Milk does not do a body good. I'll end that campaign right here. And there's studies and studies. It is slightly, called a pH level, and you see that, you see the waters these days with high pH levels and whatever. That's helping decrease the acidity levels in the stomach. Milk has a slightly below level, which is the normal level, all right, of acidity. Think about it. Our country has one of the highest rate of fractures worldwide. It's amazing. Our food. Have you ever had meat here and then you have it overseas or wherever? It tastes different.
Yeah.
Okay, grass fed, different. Okay, same thing with the milk. And really big. So I'm telling you right now, red meat limit, milk please limit, because people are not only stirring in the coffee and stirring in the pounds there. We're doing so much harm within the body. We truly are. If you're gassing, you're belching, you're farting, and all this stuff, the body's rejecting it. That's the way the body says.
That ain't good.
That ain't good. Maybe if you want to get someone bad out of the room you don't like, that's a good thing. But if you want to get a seat on the train, that's another thing. But it ain't coming out, it ain't good. It is not good. Also, too, I want to end this thing. Brown eggs, white eggs. The only difference is the color of the ears, the earlobes of the head. It has nothing to do with it's healthy or brown. This is what the food thing did. So when you put green, if you put green on Milky Way bars, right? You think it's healthier. Green and brown people think are healthier. Okay? So people, I'm gonna have brown eggs. Well, think about it. The only difference is the color of the earlobes. And go look it up. Google it right now. That's the only difference. Okay? Quickly, I'm gonna go around the cereal aisle. Cereals, no, forget it. If it's in a box, you're gonna go faster to a box. Think about that. It's all processed food. Well, what about my children? How about fruits and vegetables? How about making them something? Instead of bang. No. Okay? The healthiest thing in the supermarket is water. There's a lot to choose from. Don't drink this, don't drink this. Water. It's the safest thing, but you can't live off water, so what do you got to take in? Make vegetables a staple of your diet. Give your food a hand, right? Carbs, protein, no thicker, no bigger. Okay? Every meal, have this much vegetables. Okay? Give your food a hand. You want to have any butter or fats, about half the size of your thumb, or oils along those lines. In my opinion, what we subscribe to, you mentioned Italian, we like the Mediterranean diets. A lot of oils, a lot of nuts, a lot of great things, a lot of fiber getting in there. We limit the red meat. Yes, we have the pastas, we have the whole wheat pastas. We also have the squash pastas, which is easy to make. Take a squash, cut it in half, put it in there for a minute, scrape it off, and you got squash. That's one of the big things. So number one, have a list. Don't get pulled in by the flowers. And here's a big thing. I teach people in Whole Foods how to shop for a family of four and under $250 a week. What? How does that happen? Everything at eye level is called the bullseye level. That's more expensive. Look up or down, you get the same thing, half the cost. Also, too, look out for red, yellow, and orange. Mm-hmm. Those excite the body to make you want to buy. Mm-hmm. Think about fast food. Burger King, McDonald's, they're not purples and greens and holistic colors. What they're doing is they're pushing out there to excite the body. Now, if you want to work out and put a red shirt on, yes, you'll have greater prowess, greater confidence. But in terms of food, stay away from it. So if you think of the 4 basic food groups, get that out. Make vegetables a staple of your diet. People say, I can't do that, I love this. I do too. I love barbecuing, I understand. And here's the end all kicker. What about alcohol? Can I drink and be in shape? Of course you can. I didn't say what shape. It's poison. There's no, a glass of wine is good every day. Well, who said that? Alcohol is poison. It truly is. It destroys your liver enzymes. It's gonna be okay, man. It destroys your liver enzymes, but by the same token is this, and don't ever say moderation is a good thing. Moderation in what? And clean eating, what does that mean? You take a shower and you eat? I don't understand that. If you're taking in alcohol every day, you're doing damage to your liver. And I always think about this. Life is a marathon, not a sprint. Now, if I had one day left, I'd be celebrating, doing all great things. That's different. But what happens if you and I get to be 80 or 90 years old? My grandma's gonna be 101. She's really never drank alcohol in her life. And they say, oh, my grandma's 89. But it's a quality of life. That's what it is. It's quality of life, not quantity, quality of life. You wanna decrease your immune system? Sugar, salt, alcohol, you're sick. And the best part of a diet, here's this diet that I give, the celebrity diet. Focus on sleep, 7 to 8 hours. Well, you don't understand, I gotta get up at 4:30, so go to bed earlier. People have the FOMO, fear of missing out on everything. You're gonna miss out on everything. You're gonna miss out. You're gonna miss out of work because you're sick. You're gonna have a bad mood. You're gonna make poor decisions. You're gonna yell at your kids when they didn't do anything because you're so pissed off because you're not taking care of yourself. That's where Ben and Jerry, we said this on the first segment, show up later at night because you're so pissed off. So here's the celebrity diet. Number 1, get up in the morning, restful sleep. Number 2, have gratitude. 3, incantation. Meditate 2 to 3 minutes. I can't do all that. Then you're not gonna make money. Everybody wants to make money. It's not about grinding hard. It's about working smarter. I know a lot of people who work hard. My dad busted his ass as a foreman. And I busted my ass covering him dirt when he was 6 years old. And then you got people who strategize, sit back and think, and they increase their wealth. And they don't go after money, they go after themselves. You wanna make more money, work on yourself, not your job. We said that last week. So that's your food fitness. Sleep, mental, vegetables, the staple of diet. Now I'm not saying go out and be a vegan and start hugging trees, but what I'm saying is make it the staple of your diet. And watch the red meats, watch the dairy products. Watch the alcohol intake. You want to go out and celebrate with your girl? God bless you. Do it. You should more. Okay?
Question one, just back on the food. What's your take on meal prep companies?
Listen, it's the same thing. 50 said a very poignant statement years ago. He said, you take the thought process out of fitness because we don't focus on fitness. We focus on sleep, we focus on stress, we focus on the food. I always like to do things that I don't think a lot on. If it sends it to me and I'm good and it's what I'm gonna take and absorb and eat, my body's gonna utilize, great, I'm happy with it. That's what it's really all about. You know, time is one of our biggest commodity. These days it's attention, but time is our greatest currency. You know, if I'm making with my son or my girlfriend, we're enjoying things, I want to spend that time. But if I'm home alone and I get the package in, bang. That's a very good statement, a very good statement. That's why you're very smart, because you're thinking about the currency of what you put out there, your return. That's a very good way to go into our last segment of the mental fitness, the mind games. That's why I was talking to Jeremy prior to coming in and to go check out that book, is this. Whatever follows I am is your future. This is your compass, this is the rudder of your ship. Everybody's got shit going on. But it's either saying I'm currently or I am. Girl, you don't know, I am this, he is this. Stop. Words are conviction. When spoken enough, they are you. You have to remember that. Words are conviction, what is spoken is you.